Hello everyone and welcome back to another one of my PHP tutorials. So today I want to talk about PHP operators. But before we start, I want to tell you that I've upgraded to Windows 10. As you can see, the start menu is very different than the calculator. It's very squarey and very flat design, so that's just Windows 10. Anyways, if you hear some noise in the background, my dad is renovating the kitchen, so you might be hearing some noise. Some hammering and rumbling, so I hope you don't find that annoying. Anyways, so let's start off by what are PHP operators used for? You can use PHP operators to do numeric calculations. For example, you can add two numbers to each other. You can subtract two numbers from each other, but you can also multiply two numbers by each other. For example, if you just open PHP like usual and close it like usual, and then create two variables, for example a and variable b, and assign two numbers to each, or one to each, for example 2 and 4, you can multiply both by saying $a, so the variable, asterisk $b. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Well, it's the little star thingy. I believe it's called an asterisk. So, okay, so now basically what you're doing is multiplying a by b. So if you display this by doing an echo and go to the server you're running it on, it will give you the calculation. So in this case 8. So this is a very simple PHP calculation. You can also do numeric assignment. For example, you can, let's see, do this. Assign a variable $b to $a, but adding it as well. So if you go to the server now, it will say 6. It will first add the variable b to variable a and then assign it in a single variable. So if you would do this, do the calculation and then echo $a. I also really like the new Windows 10 sounds. It sounds so funny. Anyways, it will still stay 6. So the value from b is actually added onto value a. So that's important to know. That this is a very simple PHP example how to use numeric operators. There's also you can also increment and decrement using two pluses or two minuses. For example, C is equal to $a times $b. So C will be 8 in this case. A multiplied by b is 8 and then assigned to variable c. And now if we echo $c and close it off with a semicolon, go to the server, it will say 8. But if we tell it to subtract or decrement by adding two minuses behind the echoed variable, it won't do anything because I'm stupid. C echo C. Let's see if this works. It will say 7. It will decrement variable c by 1. That's one decrement. So you can also have logical operators instead of numeric operators. For example, I'm not entirely sure if you're familiar with if else if statements yet, but I can show you a little bit about it. So if a is equal to bad example, a times b is 8 minus 1 is 7. So let's remove this echo. If c, so how to start the statement is by saying if parenthesis open, parenthesis close, $C, so variable C is equal to 7, which it is. We did the calculation by hand, and it, or at least echo variable C, and it was equal to 7. So this statement is true. And then add 2 brackets, bracket open and bracket close. If this value is true, code between these brackets will be executed. For example, variable C is indeed 7. And then close it off. So because this is a string, you are using the double quotation marks and closing it off with a semicolon like any line. So if you go to the server, it will say variable C is indeed 7. But now if we would add another C, $C decrement semicolon, it shouldn't work. Let's see what's going on. $C. It's a 6. Oh wait, I'm very sorry guys. I used an assignment operator here. You should be using is equal sign. You are comparing it now instead of assigning it. Single equal mark is assignment, so you're assigning 4 to B. A double one is equal to, so you are checking if C is equal to 7. Now if you go to the server, nothing will be displayed because 7 is actually 6, or C is actually 6. If you remove this decrement and go back, it will work. So next, what else can we do? Like, what's a logical operator? We've used numeric operators now by using the multiplication symbol, using decrements. But we can also use logical operators. For example, if you make some more variables, D, E, for example, it doesn't really matter, it's just an example, is 25, and then say is D times $E. So in this case, D times E is F. So 60 times 25 is, let's see, 60 times 25 is 1500. So for example, if you want to check if C is 7, but also F is 1500, we can say, use the logical operator and F is equal to 1500, then display this line. And it's indeed so. So for example, if you would say 1499, nothing would display. So what's important to know is that if you are using an AND logic operator, both the values need to be true. If you want one of the values to be true, for example, this one can be false or this one can be false, but at least one needs to be true, you can say OR. If 7 is true or F is true, or the values are these values, then display the text. So in this case it will work. You can also, instead of AND, typing out AND, you can also use the ampersand twice, or instead of OR you can also use the symbol known as the Sheffer stroke or the vertical stroke, which will also work. If you go back, you will see that it will still display. If you say ampersand ampersand, go back to, it won't work because one of the values is false. Now it will work. So this is very simple logical operating. You can also use exclamation marks to check if a value is false. So for example, if C is not 6, display the text. It's a little bit illogical because if the exclamation mark means not, then it would say not is, but you should read it as is not. It's just easier to understand it that way. If variable C, if $C is not 6, display the string. It will display the string because variable C is actually 7. So this is very simple logical operating. You can also use string operators. For example, right now we put value of C in this string by typing it into the string. But we can also add a concatenation mark here by placing a point and then typing $C. What this does is concatenate $C, so variable C, to the string. Now if you go back to the page, it will show 7. Let's change this a little bit. Value of variable C is... Now if you go to the page, value of variable C is 7. It adds, it basically glues variable C to the string. This is very handy to know. For example, if variable C is not 7, display the string, but only if variable C is not 7. So nothing will display because variable C is 7. Anyway, you can also add two strings together into a single variable. For example, text1 is hello semicolon. Text2 is hello YouTube semicolon. You can now add both of the texts together by saying text is $! So basically you're saying concatenate the next variables to text, but assign them as well because of the equal mark. So $text is text1 concatenation text2, but only if C is not 6, which it is. C is 7, I believe. Let's make sure. Let's comment out this section quickly, and then var dump var underscore dump parentheses open close semicolon $C, and then go to the page. C is 7. So let's uncomment the statement. If C is not 6, assign hello space to text1 and hello YouTube, or well, let's make it YouTube, to text2, and then concatenate text1, text2 together, and then assign it to text. And then echo text semicolon. Undefined variable text. That's because I'm using a concatenation here, which you don't need because you are assigning two variables that have been glued together to a new variable. It will work fine. Hello YouTube. So, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys found this tutorial useful. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more. Bye bye.